Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. Today, we're going to do a breakdown on Herters Select Field Dove and Quail 16 gauge 1 ounce number 6 shot 1165 FPS. The box does look really cool, black and silver. We have some green on it, and of course we have the royal purple hulls. Purple and gold, I always call that the colors of royalty. It's a really good color combo. But the side of the box looks like this. There's some info. If you want to read anything, just pause it. The back of the box is the same as the front. The other side of it is just a barcode and some other language. Look at these guys. These have really good crimps on them. In fact, I would go as far as to say these are some of the best looking crimps I've ever seen in a factory shell. These are 2 3/4 inch. They have what I'll call a mid brass on them. It's not a low brass, but it's also not high brass. And these have a very nice purple color. It's actually a little bit darker and more vibrant than Federal's purple hulls, which are 16 gauge. Yeah. And these are a Shadot hull with a Shadot CX1000 primer. So it's not a standard strength primer. It's a little bit weaker than that. But we have had good luck with them. It's a pretty decent primer, nice and reliable, and perfect crimps. And if you look, it's not just that one that's perfect, it's every shell in the box is about dang flawless. If I'm not mistaken, Herters is actually loaded by Winchester, and if I'm right about that, then these probably are not a full 2 3/4 inch shell, just like the Winchester 1 ounce 16 gauge shells are. They are 2 11/16, or just a hair above 2 5/8, making them safe for older guns. This being a 1 ounce load at 1165, they're probably nice and low pressure too. It is a sort of a lightish heavy 20 gauge load. It's definitely not what I would call a standard 16 gauge load though. Whenever I get one of these open, we'll measure it and see if it's actually 2 3/4 inches or not, and I'll compare it next to a legit 2 3/4 inch hull. But to open this up, I'll be using needle nose pliers to pry the crimp, dump the shot, and then to flare the crimp out, that way I can pull the wad, I'll be using a regular pair of pliers. Well, we do have 1 ounces of shot in here exactly. I did drop 3 pellets by accident, and they just happened to roll through the cracks in the porch here. So, I can't get those back, but I can guarantee you that was a legit 1 ounce payload. And it is number 6 shot, and it's some really good looking shot. And here's a better view of the shot. As you can see, it's all nice and uniform. I don't see any mixed sizes that you commonly see with target shells. But it is definitely number 6 shot, and some really nice looking shot at that. So for a charge, we have 16.8 of whatever this may be. It's definitely a European powder, and it's green. That's actually really cool. Here's a better view of the powder. As you can see, it's like really green. That's awesome. I love European powders. Here's what the wad looks like. I actually have no idea what wad this is, but I think it's a B&P wad. But the shot cup looks like it holds maybe 3/4 ounce of lead. It's not a very deep shot cup, it's actually kind of shallow, which is not great for patterns. But a good amount of shot is actually sitting above this wad, which is unfortunate. But this being a, dove and quail load, we're not looking for really tight patterns. We're looking for something that has a little bit of spread to it, that way we can have better chances of getting whatever kind of game we're shooting at. But it's not a bad wad either. The shot cup does in fact hold more lead than the SG16 wad does. And as for hull length, you can see that this is a full length 2 3/4 inch shell. That is a Federal 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch. And yep, they are the same length, so we are not using a shorter hull here like Winchester likes to do, and Remington with their 1 ounce 16 gauge loads. So how's this for a really weird view, guys? Nice and colorful, I'd have to say. But we do have a low plastic base wad. You can see the primer is sticking up out of it just a little bit. This is a straight wall shell, and we have a pink base wad. That is awesome. I love these hulls. And here's what it looks like put back together. I use the Lelodol with a Rabacitor, and then finished it with a Got BN2. And as you can see, it looks exactly how it did coming out of the box, minus a little bit of impressions on the right here. You can see those. And if you look closely, you can see how much shot is actually sticking up above that wad. But that's going to end this one here. Herters Select Field Dove and Quail 16 gauge 1 ounce number 6 shot 1165 FPS. I quite like these guys. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.